Name of this song is The Seven Drunken Nights, but we're only allowed to sing 5 of them, so here goes. Oh, as I went home on Monday night, as drunk could be, I saw a horse outside the door, where my old horse should be. Well, I called me wife and I said to her, will you kindly tell to me, who owns that horse outside the door, where my old horse should be? Ah, you're drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see, that's a lovely sow that me mother sent to me. Well, it's many a day I've travelled 100 miles or more, but a saddle on a sow sure I never saw before. And as I went home on Tuesday night, as drunk could be, I saw a coat behind the door, where my old coat should be. Well, I called me wife and I said to her, will you kindly tell to me, who owns that coat behind the door, where my old coat should be? Ah, you're drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see, that's a woolen blanket that me mother sent to me. Well, it's many a day I've travelled 100 miles or more, but buttons in a blanket sure I never saw before. And as I went home on Wednesday night, as drunk could be, I saw a pipe upon the chair, where my old pipe should be. Well, I called me wife and I said to her, will you kindly tell to me, who owns that pipe upon the chair, where my old pipe should be? Ah, you're drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see, that's a lovely tin whistle that me mother sent to me. Well, it's many a day I've travelled 100 miles or more, but tobacco in a tin whistle sure I never saw before. And as I went home on Thursday night, as drunk could be, I saw 2 boots beneath the bed, where my old boots should be. Well, I called me wife and I said to her, will you kindly tell to me, who owns them boots beneath the bed, where my old boots should be? Ah, you're drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see, they're 2 lovely geranium pots me mother sent to me. Well, it's many a day I've travelled 100 miles or more, but laces in geranium pots I never saw before. And as I went home on Friday night, as drunk could be, I saw a head upon the bed, where my old head should be. Well, I called me wife and I said to her, will you kindly tell to me, who owns that head upon the bed, where my old head should be? Ah, you're drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see, that's a baby boy that me mother sent to me. Well, it's many a day I've travelled 100 miles or more, but a baby boy with his whiskers on sure I never saw before.
And as I rode out through Galway town to seek for recreation on the 17th of August, me mind being elevated, there were multitudes assembled with their tickets at the station, and me eyes began to dazzle, and they going to see the races. Timmy Wack, fall the dew, fall the jittery idle day. There were passengers from Limerick and passengers from Neenah, passengers from Dublin and sportsmen from Tipperary. There were passengers from Kerry and all quarters of the nation, and our member Mr. Hawley fought to join the Galway Blazers. Timmy Wack, fall the dew, fall the jittery idle day. There were multitudes from Arran and members from New Quay Shore, the boys of Connemara and the Clare unmarried maidens. People from Cork City who were loyal, true and faithful, they brought home the Fenian prisoners from dying in foreign nations. Timmy whack, fall the dew, fall the dithery idle day. And it's there you'll see confectioners with sugar sticks and dainties, the lozenges and oranges, the lemonade and raisins, gingerbread and spices to accommodate the ladies, and the big crew bean frost rubbins to be sucking while you're able. Timmy whack, fall the dew, fall the dithery idle day. And it's there you'll see the gamblers, the thimbles and the garters, and the sporting wheel of fortune with the 4 and 20 quarters. There was others without scruple pelting what was at poor Maggie, and our daddy well contented to be gawking at his daughter. Timmy whack, fall the dew, fall the dithery idle day. And it's there you'll see the pipers and the fiddlers competing, the nimble-footed dancers and the tripping on the daisies. There was others shouting cigars and lights and bills for all the races, with the colours of the jockey and the price and horses' ages. Timmy whack, fall the dew, fall the dithery idle day. And it's there you'll see the jockeys, and they mounted on so stately, the pink, the blue, the orange and green, the emblem of our nation. When the bell was rung for starting, all the horses seemed impatient. I thought they never stood on ground, their speed was so amazing. Timmy whack, fall the dew, fall the dithery idle day. There was 500,000 people there of all denominations, the Catholic, the Protestant, the Jew and Presbyterian. There was yet no animosity, no matter what persuasion, but wild hospitality inducing Mr. Paisley. Timmy whack, fall the dew, fall the dithery idle day. And Timmy whack, fall the dew, fall the dithery idle day.
The cleaner, the Maeve and the mucker, the pride of the Irish Navy. When the captain he blows on his whistle, all the sailors go home for their tea. While the army is off in the Congo, in Cyprus or some foreign parts, our navy is trained to the limits, deploying its nautical arts. One day from the Russian invader, defending our very odd fish, we found it was just a red herring from the signals we got from the kish. The cleaner, the Maeve and the mucker, the pride of the Irish Navy. When the captain he blows on his whistle, all the sailors go home to their tea. Each year they go on manoeuvres to prepare for defence, they are keen. Sometimes it's the lakes of Killarney, more often the pond in the green. The canal, it could be of assistance in defending our own holy ground, but due to proposed legislation, we'll have to sail all the way round. The cleaner, the Maeve and the mucker, the pride of the Irish Navy. When the captain he blows on his whistle, all the sailors go home for their tea. We are a seafaring nation, defence of our land is a right. We'd fight like the devil all morning, provided we're home by the night. The cleaner, the Maeve and the mucker, the pride of the Irish Navy. When the captain he blows on his whistle, all the sailors go home for their tea.
I wish I was back in Liverpool, Liverpool town where I was born, where there ain't no trees, no scented breeze, no fields of waving corn, But there's lots of girls with peroxide curls, and the black and tan flows free. There's 6 a bed by the old pier head, and it's Liverpool town for me. 'Tis 7 long years since I wandered away to sail the wide world o'er. Me very first trip on an old steamship that was bound for Baltimore. I was 7 days sick and I just couldn't stick that bobbing up and down. So I told him, Jack, you'd better turn back for dear old Liverpool town. I wish I was back in Liverpool, Liverpool town where I was born, where there ain't no trees, no scented breeze, no fields of waving corn. But there's lots of girls with peroxide curls, and the black and tan flows free. There's 6 in a bed by the old pier head, and it's Liverpool town for me. We dug the Mersey Tunnel, boys, way back in 33. Dug an hole in the ground until we found an hole called Wallasey. Then the foreman cried, come on outside, the roof is falling down. Well, I'm telling you, Jack, we all swam back to dear old Liverpool town. I wish I was back in Liverpool, Liverpool town where I was born, where there ain't no trees, no scented breeze, no fields of waving corn. But there's lots of girls with peroxide curls, and the black and tan flows free. There's 6 in a bed by the old pier head, and it's Liverpool town for me. There's every race and colour of face, there's every kind of name. But the pigeons on the pier head, they treat you all the same. And if you walk up Upper Parliament Street, you'll get faces black and brown. And I've also seen them orange and green in dear old Liverpool town. I wish I was back in Liverpool, Liverpool town where I was born, where there ain't no trees, no scented breeze, no fields of waving corn. But there's lots of girls with peroxide curls, and the black and tan flows free. There's 6 in a bed by the old pier head, and it's Liverpool town for me.
Thunder and lightning is no lark when Dublin city is in the dark. So if you've any money, go up to the park and view the zoological gardens. We went up there to see the zoo. We saw the lion and the kangaroo. There was females and she-males of every hue up in the zoological gardens. We went out there be Castle Knock. She to me, sure we'll court on the lock. Then I knew she was one of the rare old stock from outside the zoological gardens. We went up there on our honeymoon. She to me, if you don't come soon, I'll have to get in with the hairy baboon up in the zoological gardens. She to me, it's 7 o'clock. and time for me to be changing me frock. For I'd love to see the old cockatoo up in the zoological garden. Just she to me lovely Jack. Sure, I'd love a ride on the elephant's back. If you don't get over that, I'll give you such a crack up in the zoological gardens. Oh, thunder and lightning is no lark when Dublin City is in the dark. So if you've any money, go up to the park and view the zoological gardens.
Hush a vocal, hush and listen, and his cheeks were all aglow. I bear orders from the captain, get you ready quick and soon. For the pikes must be together at the rising of the moon. At the rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. For the pikes must be together at the rising of the moon. And come tell me, Sean O'Farrell, where the gathering is to be. At the old spot by the river, quite well known to you and me. One more word for signal token, whistle out the marching tune. With your pike upon your shoulder at the rising of the moon. At the rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. With your pike upon your shoulder at the rising of the moon. Out from many a mud-walled cabin, eyes were watching through the night. Many a man the heart was beating for the blessed morning light. Murmurs rang along the valley to the banshee's lonely croon. And 1,000 pikes were flashing by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. And 1,000 pikes were flashing by the rising of the moon. All along that singing river, that black mass of men was seen. High above their shining weapons flew their own beloved green. Death to every foe and traitor, whistle out the marching tune. And hurrah, me boys, for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. 'Tis the rising of the moon, 'tis the rising of the moon. And hurrah, me boys, for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon.
This is a song about a man from Liverpool who died many years ago. He was a busker. He ran a sideshow, and he only got whiskey on a Sunday. If you're wondering what this is, it's a thing for people who didn't learn the guitar in the School of Music. Oh, he sits at the corner of Beggar's Bush, astride of an old packing case. And the dolls at the end of the plank who were dancing as he crooned with a smile on his face. La 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 la, come day go day, wishing me heart it was Sunday. La la la, drinking buttermilk all the week, and it's whiskey on a Sunday. His tired old hands rub a wooden beam, and the puppets they danced up and down. A far better show than you ever will see in the fanciest theatre in town. La 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 la, come day go day, wishing me heart it was Sunday. La 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 la, drinking buttermilk all the week, and it's whiskey on a Sunday. In 1902, old Set Davy died. This song it was heard no more. The 3 dancing dolls in the dustbin were thrown, and the plank went to mend the back door. La 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 la, come they go day, wishing me heart it was Sunday. La 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 la, drinking buttermilk all the week, and it's whiskey on a Sunday. On some stormy night, if you're passing that way, when the wind's blowing up from the sea, you may still hear the song of old Seth Davy as he croons to his dancing dolls 3. La 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 la, come they go day, wishing me heart it was Sunday. La la la, drinking buttermilk all the week, and it's whiskey on a Sunday. La 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 la, drinking buttermilk all the week, and it's whiskey on a Sunday.
Oh, I am a Dundee weaver and a comfrey bonny Dundee. I met a Glasgow fella and he came courting me. He took me out to walking down by the Kelvin Haw, and there the dirty wee rascals told me thingamajig-a-wah. There the dirty wee rascals told me thingamajig-a-wah. He took me out to walking down by the Rookin' Glen. He showed to me the bonny wee birds and he showed me a bonny wee hen. He showed to me the bonny wee birds frailing at a craw, and he showed to me the bird that told me thingamajig-a-wah. He showed to me the bird that told me thingamajig-a-wah. Do I'll gang back to Dundee looking bonny, young and fair. I'll put on my buckle and shoe and tie up my bonny blonde hair. I'll put on my corset fight to make my body look small, and wha will ken my rosy cheeks, my thingamajigs-a-wah. And wha will ken my rosy cheeks, my thingamajigs-a-wah. Oh, all you Dundee weavers, take this advice free: never let the fair lay an inch above your knee. Never stand at the back of your closer up against the wall, for if you do you can safely say your thingamajigs-a-wah. For if you do you can safely say your thingamajigs-a-wah.
Some say that kissing's a sin, but tell me how can that be true? For kissing has been in this world since the very first day there was 2. Now, if it wasn't legal, then the lawyers they would sue, and the prisons would be full of folk who had a kiss or 2. And if they didn't like it, then away the girls would run. And if it wasn't plenty, then the poor folk would get none. Some say that gambling's a sin, but I'll bet you 15 to 1 that gambling has been in this world since horses and greyhounds could run. Now, if it wasn't legal, then the lawyers they would sue, and the prisons would be full of folk who had a bet or 2. And if they didn't like it, then away the girls would run. And if it wasn't plenty, then the poor folk would get none. Some say that swearing's a sin, but where is the man that can tell? For swearing has been in this world since the devil was told, go to hell. Now, if it wasn't legal, then the lawyers they would sue, and the prisons would be full of folk who had a curse or 2. And if they didn't like it, then away the girls would run. And if it wasn't plenty, then the poor folk would get none. And some say that smoking's a sin, but a pipe now and then is enough. But smoking has been in this world since Adam taught Eve how to puff. Now, if it wasn't legal, then the lawyers they would sue, and the prisons would be full of folk who had a smoke or 2. And if they didn't like it, then away the girls would run. And if it wasn't plenty, then the poor folk would get none. Some say that drinking's a sin, but a gargle is fine now and then. For drinking has been in this world forever and ever, amen. Now, if it wasn't legal, then the lawyers they would sue, and the prison would be full of folk who had a drink or two. And if they didn't like it, then away the girl would run. And if it wasn't plenty, then the pilfer would get none.
Farewell to princes, landing stage, river Mersey, fare thee well. I am bound for California, a place I know right well. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. I am bound for California, by the way of the stormy Cape Horn, and I write to you a letter, love, when I am homeward bound. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. I have shipped on a Yankee river ship, Davy Crockett is her name, and Burgess is the captain of her, and they say that she's a floating hell. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. I have been with Burgess once before, and I think I know him well. If a man is a seaman, he can get along, but if not, then he's sure in hell. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. I am bound away to leave you. Goodbye, my love, farewell. For I know to Lower Frederick Street, Anson Terrace and Park Lane. For I know it will be some long time before I see you again. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee.
This song is a warning to all young ladies never to associate with old men. Well, an old man came courting me, hating Durham now. An old man came courting me, me being young. An old man came courting me, fain would he marry me, mates. When you're young, never wed an old man, because he's got no fallurum for little Iorum. He's got no fallurum for little Alday. He's got no fallurum, he's lost his ding-doorum. A mate, when you're young, never wed an old man. When we went to church, hey, ding-doorum down. When we went to church, me being young. When we went to church, he left me in the lurch. A mate, when you're young, never wed an old man, because he's got no fallurum for little Iorum. He's got no fallurum for little Alday. He's got no fallurum, he's lost his ding-doorum. A mate, when you're young, never wed an old man. When we went to bed, hey, ding-doorum down. When we went to bed, me being young. When we went to bed, he lay like he was dead. Mates, when you're young, never wed an old man, because he's got no fallurum for little Iorum. He's got no fallurum for little Alday. He's got no fallurum, he's lost his ding-doorum. A mate, when you're young, never wed an old man. So I threw me leg over him, hey, ding-doorum down. I flung me leg over him, me being young. I threw me leg over him, damn well near smothered him. Mates, when you're young, never wed an old man, because he's got no fallurum for little Iorum. He's got no fallurum for little Alday. He's got no fallurum, he's lost his ding-doorum. A mate, when you're young, never wed an old man. When he went to sleep, hey, ding-doorum down. When he went to sleep, me being young. When he went to sleep out of bed, I did creep into the arms of a handsome young man. And I found his fallurum for little Iorum. I found his fallurum for little Alday. I found his fallurum, he got my ding-doorum. So mates, when you're young, never wed an old man.
I met my love by the gasworks croft, dreamed a dream by the old canal, kissed my girl by the factory wall. There
Dirty old town, dirty old town. Clouds are drifting across the moon. Cats are prowling on their beat. Springs a gale from the streets at night. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I heard a siren from the docks, saw a train set the night on fire, smelled the spring on the smoky wind. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I'm going to make a good sharp axe, shining steel tempered in the fire. I'll chop you down like an old dead tree. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I met my love by the factory wall, dreamed a dream by the old canal, kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town. Apprenticed to trade I was bound, and many an hour sweet happiness have I spent in that neat little town. A sad misfortune came over me, which caused me to stray from the land, far away from me friends and relations, betrayed by the black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet
stroll down Broadway, meaning not long for to stay. When who should I meet but this pretty fair maid come a-traipsing along the highway? She was both fair and handsome, her neck it was just like a swan, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Her eyes they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. I took a stroll with this pretty fair maid, and the gentleman passing us by, well, I knew she meant the doing of him by the look in her roguish black eye. A gold watch she took from his pocket and placed it right into my hand, and the very first thing that I said was, "Bad cess to the black velvet band." Her eyes they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Before the judge and the jury, next morning I had to appear. The judge, he says to me, "Young man, your case it is proven clear. We'll give you 7 years penal servitude to be spent far away from the land, far away from your friends and relations, betrayed by the black velvet band." Her eyes they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. So come all you jolly young fellows, a warning take by me. When you are out on the town, me lads, beware of the pretty colleens. They'll feed you with strong drink, me lads, till you are unable to stand. And the very first thing that you'll know is you've landed in Van Diemen's land. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, her neck it was just like a swan, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band.
It's lonesome away from your kindred and all, by the campfire at night where the wild dingoes call. But there's nothing so lonesome, so dull or so drear than to stand in the bar of a pub with no beer. Now the publican's anxious for the quota to come. There's a faraway look on the face of the bum. The maid's gone all cranky and the cook's acting queer, but a terrible place is a pub with no beer. The stockman rides up with his dry, dusty throat. He breasts up to the bar, pulls a wad from his coat. But the smile on his face quickly turns to a sneer when the barman says suddenly the pub got no beer. There's a dog on the veranda, for his master he waits, but the boss is inside drinking wine with his mates. He hurries for cover and he cringes in fear. It's no place for a dog, no round the pub with no beer. Oh, Billy the blacksmith, the first time in his life, has gone home cold sober to his darling wife. He walks in the kitchen, she says, "You'll nearly be dear." Then he breaks down and he tells her that the pub's got no beer. Oh, it's lonesome away from your kindred and all, by the campfire at night, where the wild dingoes call. But there's nothing so lonesome, so dull or so drear, as to stand in the bar of a pub with no beer.
Oh, Peggy Gordon, you are my darling. Come sit you down upon my knee. Come tell to me the very reason why I am slighted so by thee. I'm so in love, I can't deny it. My heart lies smothered in my breast. It's not for you to let the world know it. A troubled mind can know no rest. I did put my head to a cask of brandy. It wasn't my fancy, I do declare. For when I'm drinking, I am thinking and wishing Peggy Gordon was here. I wish I was away in Ingo, far across the briny sea, sailing o'er the deepest ocean, where love nor care never bother me. I wish I was in some lonesome valley, where womankind cannot be found, where the pretty small birds to change their voices, and every moment a different sound. Oh, Peggy Gordon, you are my darling. Come sit you down upon my knee. Come tell to me the very reason why I am slighted so by thee. It's buskin' me, boys, get you up on the deck and take up your stations for hauling the nets. And mind to pull together, lads, all through the night, and shaking your oilskins until it's daylight, with a heave and a haul and the shaking of the nets. It's when we're at hauling, we're living on hope. The boy in
and the locker, the lads on the ropes. The fellas in the hold who are hauling the nets and shaking the herring out onto the deck, with a heave and the haul and the shaking of nets. It's net after net we pull up from the sea, with a haul and a shake and a 1, 2, and 3. The herring are a-piling around our sea boots and slithering and sliding down into the chutes, with a heave and a haul and the shaking of the nets. It's hour after hour we are hauling away, all through the long night till the dawn of the day. The captain's in the wheelhouse, he's on the RT, and the cook's in the galley a-brewing the tea, and we're heaving and hauling and shaking of the nets. Now the season is over, so be on your way, and head for the home port to sign for your pay. Your missus will be waiting to welcome you home. It's so hard for a wife to be so much alone, and you're finished with heaving and hauling of nets. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey, 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 Nancy, oh. I am a weaver, a Carlton weaver, I am a rash and a roving blade. I've got siller in my putches, and I'll gang follow the roving trade. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey, 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 Nancy, oh. As I come in by Glasgow City, Nancy whiskey I chanced to smell, so I gaed in, sat down beside her. 7 long years I loved her well. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey, 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 Nancy, oh. The mare I kissed had the mare I looed, had the mare I looed, had the mare she smiled, and I forgot my mother's teaching. Nancy soon had me beguiled. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey, 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 Nancy, oh. I woke up early in the morning to stake my druth, it wasn't my need. I tried to rise, but I wasn't able, for Nancy had me by the head. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey, 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 Nancy, oh. Come a wall and lady, and what's the reckoning? Tell me what I have to pay. 15 shillings is the reckoning, pay me quickly and go away. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey, 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 Nancy, oh. As I went out by Glasgow City, Nancy whiskey I chanced to smell. I gaed in, drank 4 and 6pence, and all was left was a crooked scale. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey, 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 Nancy, oh. I'll gang back to the Carlton weaving, I'll surely make the shuttles fly, but I'll mak more at the Carlton weaving than ever I did in the roving trade. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey, 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 Nancy, oh. Come all ye weavers, Carlton weavers, and all ye weavers, where'er ye be, beware of whiskey, Nancy, whiskey, she'll ruin you as she ruined me. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey, 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 Nancy, oh. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey, 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 Nancy, oh. go wi me sweet to be Dunbar? Oh, wilt thou go wi me sweet to be Dunbar? Will thou ride on the horse or be drawn in the cart, or walk by my side, sweet to be Dunbar? I care not thy daddy, his land or his money, I care not thy kin, say high and say lordly, but say that thou'lt pay me for better or war, and come in your coaties, sweet to be Dunbar. I offer you naething in siller or land, what men could determine the price of your hand, but gin you consent we'd be richer by far. Oh, wilt thou go with me, sweet to be Dunbar? Oh, wilt thou be known as a poor beggar's lady, and sleep in the heather round up in my plaidy, the sky for a roof and your candle a star, my love for a fire, sweet to be Dunbar? Oh, wilt thou go with me, sweet to be Dunbar? Oh, wilt thou go with me, sweet to be Dunbar? Will thou ride on a horse or be drawn in the car, or walk by my side, sweet to be Dunbar? When first I landed in Liverpool, I went upon a spree. Me money, alas, I spent it fast, got drunk as drunk could be. And when that me money was all gone, 'twas then I wanted more. But a man must be blind to make up his mind to go to sea once more. Once more, boys, once more, go to sea once more. But a man must be blind to make up his mind to go to sea once more. I spent the night with Angeline, too drunk to roll in bed. Me watch was new and me money too, in the morning with them she'd fled. And as I walked the streets about, the whores they all did roar. There goes Jack Sprat, the poor sailor lad, he must go to sea once more. Once more, boys, once more, go to sea once more. There goes Jack Sprat, the poor sailor lad, he must go to sea once more. And as I walked the streets about, I met with the Rapper Brown. I asked him for to take me on, and he looked at me with a frown. He said, last time you was paid off, with me you could no score. But I'll give you a chance, and I'll take your advance, and I'll send you to sea once more. Once more, boys, once more, send you to sea once more. I'll give you a chance, and I'll take your advance, and I'll send you to sea once more. He shipped me on board of a whaling ship, bound for the Arctic seas, where the cold winds blow through the frost and snow, and Jamaica rum would freeze. But worse to bear, I'd no hard weather gear, for I'd spent all me money on shore. 'Twas then that I wished that I was dead and could go to sea no more. No more, boys, no more, go to sea no more. 'Twas then that I wished that I was dead and could go to sea no more. So come all you bold seafaring men who listen to me song. When you come off them long trips, I'll have you not go wrong. Take my advice, drink no strong drink, don't go sleeping with them whores. Get married instead and spend all night in bed and go to sea no more. No more, boys, no more. Go to sea no more. Get married instead and spend all night in bed and go to sea no more.